Hello and welcome to TNA Top 10, episode 119, October 5th, 2025. Even if you look in the notes, guys, and see it says October 6th, that was a slip up by me. I'm T Weave. With me, as always, are Andrew and Allison Faye. How's it going, fellas?
Hi.
Fellas. I love it. Every
He
time.
always
You
says
give me
fella.
every time when you say fellas. Oh, it's good stuff.
And
Things
to
are
honor, oh, sorry, go ahead.
things are fine. You know, like you've been in a relationship, obviously, Terry, married and all. When you ask somebody, are you okay? I'm fine.
I'm
I'm
fine.
We'll get into that during the baseball segment, but right now, I'm fine.
And to honor the great list and the guest we have, and your host, Mike Bober.
Oh God.
Welcome, Mike.
I'm frozen.
No, you're not. You're good.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay.
As
All
long
right.
as we can hear you, it's good. Why
Yeah,
don't
okay.
you
That's
tell us a little bit about your background image? I may have picked the wrong jersey for you here for this picture, but you can tell me about
Oh no, that's fine. That's the team I play. I play on two different teams in what's called the National Ball Hockey League. The Ragnarok is our tier 3 team, and the picture behind me was our 45 plus Legends team. There was no logo for that team because the league was put together real, didn't give us enough time to create stuff because it was a draft. So it was just a generic logo for every team. Every team had the same logo.
Okay.
But 2 weeks ago, our team went to New Jersey and we beat 3 other division champions from Long Island,
Okay.
New Jersey, and Buffalo. And we became the first ever Legends champions for the NBHL.
Excellent. Proud of you, Bobes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And I
So-
even had the game-winning goal in the
Oh.
championship game.
That's great.
So something that never happens ever. Well, one time with Allison, I watched hockey. I actually watched Bober win
Yep.
this game, and I was very mad because all of a sudden the feed cut out.
Yeah,
And I'm
and
like,
that's when I scored.
Well, like, what in the world is happening? So I had to go
that's
back and watch Bober score, and then they took him out because he's an old man and he was out of oxygen, so he didn't play like the last whatever period of the game.
I did play the last period of the game. I mean, it's constant changing. It's not like, it's not like basketball or soccer. Like once you're out, you have to wait. You constantly change.
Line
But I'm a
changes.
role player on that team.
It was fun to
Role player.
watch.
That's
I
what he
mean,
said, Allison.
Yeah, I
I'm
heard
a
it.
Role player.
I'm trying really hard to be nice to Bober, all right?
I'm
That's
not.
a first. Thanks, Pond Water.
Yeah, blown up like
It's
Jeff
not that
Jarrett.
bad.
Jeff Jarrett is terrible. In case anybody has forgotten, Jeff Jarrett is still a professional wrestler somewhere, probably for the shitty wrestling, and he is horrible. Like the guy is terrible, and I'm sure he's not a great human being either, based on the stories I've heard. But Pondwater loves him, but he still sucks. Double nickels himself, Jeff Jarrett. Only reason he ever had any notoriety and fame is the same reason the Von Erich brothers did, and that's because their daddy owned the company. So there you are. I mean, I've never known a bunch of people, a bunch of drug addicts that could show up to work whenever they want, not get fired, and then burn the town because, it is a show. But whatever. Oh, hi, Pond Water. Nice of you to join. On your channel, by the way. So
I will say, obviously there's just one Von Erich left. When Son left, but boy, when he shows up somewhere, people line up.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Kevin shows up, it's crazy. Now, if Kerry shows up, you're going to have a serious line.
Oh, let me tell you, there's some AI bullshit out there. I saw some video, maybe y'all saw it, where Chris Benoit walked out on AEW Dynamite. It was some AI
Oh, yeah.
video or
Yeah,
whatever.
that was brutal.
Oh, good.
That
That's
was
not,
brutal.
see, I'm not all right with that. That's not okay.
Nah,
Mm-mm.
But it's getting
definitely
harder
not okay.
to tell.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. No question.
Well, I mean, this is, how many ever consecutive shows in a row where I tell you about Terminator, and Terminator
That's
told
right.
you all about this AI nonsense.
Skynet. They warned us about
Skynet is
Skynet.
taking over. God, I need to rewatch him. They give me tips. Linda Hamilton in the mental institution. She's taking care of business, Sarah Connor.
Amen.
But anyway, no Arnie. But yeah, it took a woman to take down Arnold Schwarzenegger, by the way. Female Terminator.
That's right.
And I watched, speaking of Terminator, and maybe John Cena later, I'm watching Peacemaker. I've not seen this. Oh, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
My favorite is Vigilante, definitely. But the Terminator, the T-1000, is John Cena's dad. So, fun fact.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
T-1000, the guy that played T-1000 in
Yeah.
Terminator 2, he is John Cena's dad in Peacemaker.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I've met his dad. I don't know. What?
No. In the show.
I got it now. I got it. Yes, you're correct.
There are like
Dragon.
4 timelines
Holy cow.
all together. Oh, Bober just dropped out.
It's all right. He'll be back.
He
It's
threatened
just like
to. His internet's trash, like mine used to be.
So he'll
I
be
never
back.
accept
That's what we're saying
responsibility.
after
Yeah.
talking about the Terminator.
Yeah, I don't accept responsibility for my internet being trash. Somehow it was your guys' fault. So anyway,
Oh man. Well,
I do
let me
remember
talk
those
about
days.
soccer a little bit. So,
okay.
it's been a while since I talked about it. Cyrus's team has played 4 games in their oh crap. My
Nope.
bad.
No, we both did it at the same
Allison
time.
and I are battling on the buttons here. Sorry about that. Welcome back. And it
Yeah,
looks
hi,
like
Bover.
you're connected better. But
Yeah.
so I was just talking today on soccer. They're 3-1 now. Lost a tough one today, 2-1 to the top team. So there's only one undefeated team in their conference now. That team's 6-0 now. They're 3-1. Cyrus plays for Alabama FC Huntsville. There are 10 teams between Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi that play in this ECNL regional league, regional conference. And similar to what Bober seemed to be talking about with his hockey league, there is a national level and a regional level. They play at the regional level, and there will be a national championship eventually at the end of the season. So,
Now, Terry,
nice.
do some of the European soccer clubs have any academies down there?
well, they do. I don't know where, but like there was a Liverpool academy team that played in the St. Louis tournament. Yeah, soccer is a different deal.
Yeah.
The higher you go, the more they don't allow you to play high school sports, and it's that kind of thing. They're not as interested in that. All other sports want you to play high school, but like if you play for the MLS says no high school. So
Yeah, my
he's not playing
cousin,
at that level.
my cousin's son plays for Liverpool's academy up in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Okay.
That's why I was asking.
That might be the team that was there in St. Louis because it seems like I couldn't remember which state it was from, but it was definitely from the Midwest somewhere. I remember.
Yeah, and I know a couple years before that he played for Real Madrid.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like there was a Real Colorado. I don't know if that was if they just kind of do that or if they're associated. But it is pretty interesting, and because I knew Kick It That Way when he started playing when he was younger, and I've learned rules as I've gone, but I don't say much from the sideline because I don't know anything. And I love it because
Yeah.
I don't get ticked off because I don't know enough to be ticked off.
Terry lies. Hold on. I'm going to interrupt you because it's my job. Terry lies. Last season, Cyrus got a red card. And Terry did have to be the dad. He did.
Well,
he did let him know about that.
You don't have to know about soccer enough to know that you're not supposed to go clobber somebody. So
Right.
Meanwhile, in the group chat, I'm like, good for him. But that's me.
So Pondwater's asking if we played in Hattiesburg. No, Hattiesburg is not in our conference. There's a Gulf Coast conference. Hattiesburg is in that. Our girls, Girls soccer's different. They have different schedules. Our girls play in the Gulf Coast Conference, so they play Hattiesburg, but our
Oh
boys
wow.
don't go any farther south than Jackson. We have a weekend in April where we're going to go to Jackson on Saturday and Tupelo on Sunday. So I will hit you up that weekend, Pondwater.
But it's very good, high level soccer. And you said he was defending the big guy.
That's right.
So he's finding his role. They had a couple of guys out because it's our fall break this week, and there was this big kid on the other team today, and like I said, they got beat 2-1, but they said we need to stop this guy, and they put Cyrus on him, and Cyrus pretty much stopped him. So that's kind of his role, and I'm
Love
proud of
that.
him. He's getting better every game.
And I
But
was laughing, saying, I remember when Cyrus was the little kid. So the idea of the little kid
Oh,
defending the big kid, I'm like, wait, what? But then I remembered, yeah, they grew up.
they do, don't they?
And
I
he's
know.
now
And
taller
change
than
in
me.
3 years. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be
exactly.
I
driving
never
down to
did.
Pensacola Friday to
Yep.
help my other son move back home. He's
That's right.
discharging from the Coast Guard, so he'll be back with me. Why don't
That's
we talk about
exciting.
baseball, guys?
Oh,
Do we have
gosh. Do we have to?
And I don't know
Yeah.
if anybody can see this. It's kind of an eye chart. I just went and grabbed the ESPN bracket for baseball. I'm not sure why they have the last game score for the first round, but they don't show the score for the last game of the second round. That's a choice by ESPN. Not my fault. But Yankees down 2-0 to the Blue Jays.
Yeah. Well, Cam Schlittler, before we get there,
Yes, before we get there, I agree.
12 strikeouts, 8 innings.
No walks, right?
Marvelous. No walks. 107 pitches.
Aw.
Marvelous outing against Boston.
Hi,
to shut
Megan.
it down.
Megan.
And now Megan's here. Against
Welcome.
a very good Boston team.
Yeah.
But I told Allison and George that morning, I said, here's what's going to happen. This is Thursday. I said it's going to be nothing but heat and regret that he's throwing. And Boston couldn't get in front of the ball. He was throwing 4-seam fastballs 100 miles an hour into the seventh inning.
Yeah, he had like something like 6 pitches over 100 miles an hour or something like that. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
102, 103. And
But
when
the
they
fact that
pulled
he was
him,
continuing. Yeah.
when they pulled him in the 8th inning, he was still throwing. After the 8th inning, he was still throwing 98. And I mean, it was
Ridiculous.
nothing but heat. And so Boone, in his infinite wisdom, doesn't let him throw a complete game. Doesn't let him finish the game.
To also be fair, Boone came out to get him in the 7th?
Boone did not come out to get him in the 7th.
Oh, who was I thinking
Boone
of?
threatened to get him in the 7th.
Correct. That's what I meant. He
Yeah.
tried to go get him, and Schlittler was like, "Nope."
No, he never even waved him off. He's just started throwing strikes, and he couldn't justify pulling him. But the problem is that for a 24-year-old rookie pitcher in the playoffs against your arch nemesis, let him finish the game.
Yeah.
And that is why Aaron Boone has to go. That is a perfect example of why Aaron Boone has no business being the manager of the New York Yankees. The confidence and the message that sending him back out in the 9th sends to everybody else was completely forfeited because you decide to send David Bednar in, who Mike is very familiar with as a former Pittsburgh pitcher, and Bednar takes 21 pitches to shut this thing down. It's 4-0. You're at home. The stadium is rocking, and your rookie pitcher just threw a gem, and you won't let him finish the game. That is a trash decision if there's ever been one.
That's
And
a
Aaron
typical
Boone
Bednar
sucks
outing.
and needs to go.
Okay.
What's that, Mike, about
I said
Bednar?
that's a typical Bednar outing.
Yeah. Well, Schlittler was throwing 10 or less. So if he got to 125 pitches, we would have had a day off. Then they didn't pitch him yesterday because they went with Luis Hill. They went with Max
Whoop.
Fried today, who looked like he had another blister on his hand,
Mm.
then decided to put in Will Warren, which shows you where they are mentally, that they don't think Warren needs to start in any of the division series since they ran him through the middle instead of using Yarborough. And then tomorrow it's Carlos, or Tuesday. If
Tuesday.
Carlos Rodon can get out of the first inning without giving up 3 runs, then we probably have a chance. But if not, the Yankees are going home. And if they go home, the first call Hal Steinbrenner needs to make is to Aaron Boone to tell him to pack his shit and get out. Seriously, because you have just pissed away yet another season with the best offense in baseball, who, by the way, didn't show up today until the 6th inning.
Okay.
Didn't show up today till the 6th inning. They scored 7 runs in the 6th and 7th innings.
Okay.
But
They were
they
down
got
like 12-2 or something before that.
13-7 is what the final ends up
Okay.
being. We have a football score.
It was 10-1 at one point.
Oh,
10
goodness.
was it 10-0?
Well, they
No.
won 10-1 yesterday. Toronto did, and today at one point it was 12-2.
12-2.
So, I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, it was ridiculous.
it was scary.
And
Well-
the Yankees don't deserve to win if they can't beat teams in their own division.
Okay.
And I get it, it's playoff baseball, it's when it matters, blah, blah, blah. But you let Toronto own you all season, and you went to the Rogers Center, and today you lost again, and now you're 8-1 or 1-8 against Toronto in the Rogers Center. And then the other baseball happening.
Well, hold
Seattle,
on. I got
Hold
to
on,
say
yeah.
something.
go
We
ahead.
have to thank the Tigers for putting Cleveland out of the damn playoffs.
I
Yeah,
was gonna
thank
get
you
there.
very
Terry
much.
beat me to it. Yeah.
I had to
Yeah,
make
so-
sure it happened because I had that one geared up, ready to go.
Thank you very much.
I got one
Cleveland
other thing on the Yankees.
Yeah.
I
Tread lightly.
think all 4 of us in this chat could have a better ERA than Luke Weaver.
There you go.
135 ERA.
Well, at least it's not an
135.
infinity anymore. He got an out.
No,
Yes,
he
that
got
is
1
true.
out. Yes, the 135 ERA.
Yeah.
As in 135.
Ugh.
I'm gonna save it for next week when the Yankees are at the house, but because they're not beating Toronto 3 straight. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stay here right now. As much of a Yankees fan as I am, they're not beating Toronto 3 straight.
Yeah, that's
You
more
gotta
of a
beat
Red
two-
Sox thing.
You got to beat
Thanks-
2 in the
thanks a
stadium,
lot.
and
Terry.
then go take it from them in the Rogers Center. It's not happening. They're not
Yeah, I
beating
agree.
this Toronto baseball team, particularly if the bats don't start showing up. Giancarlo Stanton is still in hibernation, and Aaron Judge has not, unfortunately, been able to trigger anything again. So here comes the chatter about, oh, yeah, he's great until October. He's the best player in baseball. It doesn't matter the calendar month. So to people who want to say nonsense like that, good for you. But that's what it is. It's nonsense. And it's proof that you don't actually ever watch baseball. You just turned on Sports Center and may have paid attention for 48 seconds. So the greatest right-handed hitter in the history of the game, and it's not close.
Right.
And he could retire tomorrow, and he'd be the greatest right-handed hitter in the history of the game, and it wouldn't be close.
Yep.
So the other thing is, Terry, because you love the NL East, the Phillies and the Dodgers had a great game yesterday. I wanted to mention this.
Okay.
Roki Sasaki is now the closer for the Dodgers. He had that injury, and they brought him back, that impingement or whatever they call it. And they brought him back 1st of September, or second week of September, the 13th. And he has been their closer. And he took down Schwarber and what's his face, Bryce Harper last night. It's pretty impressive watching him as the closer. But Allison and I know what that's like. Mariano Rivera was a starting pitcher for a while. And then they figured out it was better for him to close the game than it
Yep.
was for him to get a 6.5 ERA through 7. So anyway, really good games probably between the Dodgers. The Reds didn't belong in the playoffs, but somebody had to be there, and it wasn't the Mets. But
Well, the NL's pretty much going like you would expect it to.
Yeah.
There's a collision course between the Brewers and the Dodgers coming up.
well, the Phillies
fine.
aren't going to go away quietly, though. That's the thing. But they But to the Dodgers' credit, they stole one from them in Philly, which is a hard place to win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a hard stadium to win. But yesterday, to the Brewers' credit, because I did see this before I got busy at work, Cubs starting pitcher gets popped in the first inning. It's 4-0. Council pulls him. I mean, the Brewers it was double. And the next thing you know, it's 4-0. And Council, the manager for the Cubs, ends that real quick. And they end up, I don't know what that score showed, Terry, but I think it was 8-1 or 9-1 that Brewers just pounded the Cubs.
Mm.
And you wonder if a week off would have mattered. You know, all these teams that had the bye, but the Tigers or the Mariners lost, but the Blue Jays won, the Brewers won, and the Dodgers so they went 2-2, you know, because the Phillies had the bye too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it makes any difference or not, because the Brewers picked right up where they left off, and so did Toronto. But anyway,
we'll see. When we're not taking a week off this time for the first
Nope.
time in forever, so we will talk about it next week.
yeah, like I said, and you guys can finish up this thought. As much as I love the Yankees, they're not beating Toronto 3 straight. So we will, on the next show, predict, or what I would suggest you should do as a New York Yankees baseball team moving forward into the spring of 26.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got a lot of football to talk about because we did skip a week. Let's get into it. Let's talk week 5. That was last weekend's games. And here's a list of them. Virginia with an upset against Florida State. Ohio State rolls Washington. Oregon, overtime win over Penn State. LSU lost to Ole Miss. Alabama beat Georgia. Auburn, another one-score loss because they've got no offense, and we'll talk more about that later. USC beaten by Illinois, and Illinois' bounce back after getting whipped by Indiana. And then Louisville with a one-score win against the Pittsburgh Panthers.
I went 6-2 on this. Now, Bober, so we saw Florida State get exposed in this Virginia game in the overtime. And what I mean exposed is on both sides of the ball, it was very apparent that Florida State's offensive and defensive lines were being dominated by Virginia. And Tony Elliott's a very good coach. He was the offensive coordinator of the 2016 or 18, I can't remember, Clemson Tigers that did win a national championship. The question becomes, when you see, because I'm gonna pick on Nebraska, and this is why. Tony White's the defensive coordinator of Florida State. There were no adjustments in his 3-3-5 defense against Virginia, and they just start pounding the ball in the fourth quarter. What should they have done to stop Virginia from being able to run the ball right down their throats? Since you confessed to us that you're a Florida State fan, now I'm putting you on the spot.
I think they needed to have some more run blitzes than what they were doing.
Yeah. As I told our other buddy on the show,
close the holes. You know, they need the gaps were a little bit too big.
Terry and Allison have heard this song and dance for me about Tony White for a couple years now. When he was the DC at Nebraska, so slow to make the changes in the game. In-game adjustments are not something he's going to do. And the problem for that is, if you're going to run your base 3-3-5 with gassed down linemen, you're going to get gashed and beat up, to your point. There's nobody running to fill the hole. There is no double A-gap blitz. There is no stunt. There is no twist. There is no outside defensive end pressure. And this is what you get. A team with far lesser talent in Virginia beating Florida State. And then apparently nobody died in that mob rush, Terry. I know you were concerned. But when they rushed the field, nobody died.
It was quick. That was a quick reaction. They definitely did not wait long enough for there to not be a fine.
Or
I think the ball was still in the air, bouncing.
Yeah, they didn't even review the play.
Wow.
Here they come.
Man.
Oh,
I mean, they were chomping at the bit when overtime started.
Yeah.
I mean, they were right on that the white chalk of the back of the end zone.
yep. And we've all been at those games where
Yeah.
you can feel it in the stadium
Yeah.
that something big is about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here watching it on TV, knowing that Virginia's going to win the ball game.
Yeah. I remember
So-
when I was in college, Auburn was like probably number 20 something, and Florida was number 2. And Auburn kicked a 50-yard field goal into the student section as time expired to beat Florida like 23-20 or something. Crazy night.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then you move on
Exciting.
to when you move on to Oregon Penn State, talking about crazy environments, and it's a whiteout, and there's 111,000 people in Happy Valley, and big games can't win again, Terry.
Well, he's starting to lose the smaller games now.
We're gonna get to that. Yeah,
We
we're
will
gonna
get to that, but it's like I don't know. I keep saying I'm not putting Penn State near the top of the rankings until they prove that they can beat a big team, and they have not done that over the last few years. And people every season say Penn State's the best team in the Big Ten, and it continues to not be true.
Yeah, as long as Ohio State exists, that is a lie. That
And I think
anybody is the best team in the Big Ten other than the Ohio State. And I hate it. Like, I
Yeah.
100% hate it. But they went into Washington and they didn't score a ton of points, but they owned the game.
Right.
We may not get to it, so let's talk about it now. Minnesota 42-3. And this defense, the number one scoring defense, yard by yards, turnovers, the number one defense in the country it comes out of Columbus. And they continue to gain more and more and more confidence. And what does that do for your young quarterback who is starting? And by the way, let's not think that Julian Sayin doesn't have any skills. He was the last quarterback recruited by Nicholas Lou Saban to play for the University of Alabama. So let's not act like the man is without skill. But when you have a freshman quarterback or a redshirt freshman quarterback in these big environments and the moment hasn't wilted him yet, and then his defense continues to keep him in the game, it's only the Ohio State, we haven't seen what they can become before this is all said and done. So Michigan, buckle up for your big game there at the end of the season because it's going to be ugly.
I think, and I texted you this earlier, it's like I think the effects of the way college football has changed in the last few years have brought the top teams in the SEC down. So there's a pretty even playing field in the SEC. Several teams are roughly the same level, but it seems to have boosted Ohio State up. So I think that situation is going to continue for years.
Bober, your thoughts on Ohio State? Because we're giving them their flowers at this point.
Oh, I mean, I'm actually surprised with how they're playing with the freshman quarterback. But whenever you have basically a professional team in front of you, what are you going to do? I mean, do they play Oregon this year or not?
If they do, it's in the Big Ten. If they do, it's in the Big Ten championship game.
Okay, so I mean, I meant in the regular season. I wasn't sure if they met or not. If they were going to play the Big Three or supposed Big Three in the regular season.
Yeah, they don't have Oregon this year, I don't believe.
Okay, all right. I mean that's going to be your championship game right there.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Unless
it may be both championship games.
Yeah, seriously. Now, can we ask who is the most overrated team this year? Is it Penn State or is it Texas?
You got to throw Notre Dame in there, don't you?
No, because Notre Dame lost to 2 top 25 teams by field goal apiece.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Penn State got owned at home.
That's bad.
By Oregon.
I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, now
well, it's one score though.
Coming from me, they didn't get. Oh, I mean, that was a hell of a game. That was a great fourth quarter comeback by them. Shocked the hell out of me. But when the Roosters came, when the chickens came home to roost and the game was on the line, Penn State did what Penn State does in a big game.
Yeah,
Well,
they
and
were owned for
somebody
3
posted.
quarters. Let me go ahead and rephrase what I said. But the
Okay.
defense of Oregon was very fast. They
Yeah.
stopped Drew Aller. He wasn't making his contacts. They weren't rushing the ball. Penn State football is predicated on being able to control the line of scrimmage and run the ball, and then they air it out. And they were not able to do that against the Ducks. And you don't think teams like Ohio State or Michigan or anybody else, including Nebraska, saw that and knows how to stop Penn State? Because every team has a weakness. I don't know what Ohio State's is if it isn't this redshirt freshman quarterback, because he's got 3 future NFL wide receivers that he throws that ball to.
Right.
So, and then they've got the defense that, let's face it, could probably all go to the draft.
I was only able to see the part of the fourth quarter and the overtime because I was at a Penguin game that night. But all that overtime did was just confirm the fact that I don't want Drew Allard as the Steelers' next quarterback.
Well, Penn State, you're asking Penn State versus Texas, and I think what you have is a coaching issue in Penn State, and I think you have an overhyped player issue at Texas. And that, to me, is a big difference. And I picked Texas to win the national championship, and I don't even think they sniff it at this point. Both teams have dropped out of the top 25 after this week.
Wow.
As they should.
Well, okay. So I was going to answer the question kind of to go on what you're saying there, Andrew. My answer is Texas. I think Texas is more overrated than Penn State. And I saw somebody ask the question, okay, now predict Texas's record for this season.
7-5 or 8-4.
They could go 6-6.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was on the hype train for Texas because of all the athletes, all of the receivers, the coach, and of course it's Arch Manning. But Arch Manning has probably been the biggest disappointment in college football from the beginning of the season. Yeah. They lost to a Florida team that is not good. That Florida team, DJ Lagley's doing his flexes and all this other stuff. He finally showed up to play this weekend in the swamp against Texas. I mean, they have not been good, and we're not even on that scoreboard, but Texas has not been a good Florida's not been a good football team, and Texas has really not been a good football team. And then, as predicted and laughed about, I said that Ole Miss was going to beat LSU. Ole Miss beat LSU because you have the same problem at LSU that you have at Penn State. Tons of talent and a bad football coach. Well, I don't think James Franklin is a bad football coach. I agree with the sentiment I saw in an article. He's the guy before the guy. We see it at Vandy. He helped reshape that program and left for Penn State. And he's reshaped the Penn State program since the scandal, but he's not the guy that's going to take them to the national championship for the first time since 1986.
So why don't we do final thoughts on week 5? Because we still got to talk week 6 and 7.
Big Game Lane gets it done in Oxford, Terry. As I told you all, don't bet against Lane Kiffin. And really don't bet against him on social media because he's just better at it than everybody else.
And
Bober doesn't want to talk about a Pittsburgh loss anyway. Right?
Well, no. Well, I mean that's all on your Alabama transfer, Eli. My God, how do you blow a 17-0 lead and then a 27-17 lead in the fourth quarter?
But things got better because we need to talk about week 6.
Yes.
All right.
I love how Terry skipped A&M and Auburn.
Yeah.
No, I will have plenty to say about that. I did say they have no offense, so we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Here's a few games from week 6. I'll quickly go through these, but we focus on some other games. That's how we do things here. Ohio State puts it on Minnesota, like you said. A&M. Mississippi State has looked pretty good this year in some games. A&M said, not here, buddy. 31-9 against Mississippi State.
Played them close, though, for a half, and then it was over. I mean, it was the first half they played – Mississippi State played A&M pretty tight, but after that it was over.
So then Cincinnati with a big upset win against Iowa State.
Sober's that's a big quarterback. That's the one that gave Nebraska so much trouble, and they only won 20-17. Cincinnati's sleeping in the Big 12 because they're going to play the spoiler. I'm not saying they have the talent to win the Big 12 championship, but they're going to ruin somebody's record along the way. And this week it was Iowa State.
And there's a couple of undefeated teams out in the Big 12, but you don't know how well they've been tested.
Right.
I'm looking up the Cincinnati quarterback.
Oh, okay.
Michigan, Wisconsin.
You got to tell us how good his hair is.
What's his name?
Shoot, Sorbin. He's a
Samsonite.
He's a This is the only time we talk about the Cincinnati Bearcats. Sorsby, Brandon Sorsby. Anyway, Sorsby is a fullback that plays quarterback, and he has been unconscious since the loss to Nebraska in Kansas City. Yeah, he's got hair out.
Fullback that plays quarterback?
He's 6'3".
Yeah, he's huge.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, he's huge. I mean, he's 6'3", but I think he probably weighs in around 265 or so.
Actually, it said 235. So
that's Alabama throwing.
I was like, that's too skinny.
You should see him in the uniform. He is not that small. Michigan and Wisconsin. This could be the year they let go of Luke Fickell. You know, they fired coaches with better records. Right. Sound familiar, Terry?
We know all about that.
Bo Pelini got fired on a 10-4 year. I'm just letting you all know. 10-4 because he couldn't beat Wisconsin. Louisville pulls it out, or loses rather, to Virginia. Virginia pulls it out in overtime again. Don't sleep on the Cavaliers. And from the Cartoon Network, big game, Bill Belichick loses to the human cartoon that is Dabo Swinney. Dabo reminds me of Dick Dastardly without the beard, particularly after the press conferences. This was on the Cartoon Network, 38-10. North Carolina, what a joke. They're going to fire Belichick.
Yeah, I was going to say, can Belichick go away?
This is bad.
Like,
they're going to
bad. Like, I don't think anybody expected this. And it's at the point where his girlfriend is going to be like, dude, you look bad. You're making my socials hurt. Can you stop? That's what's going to happen.
It gets to the point though. And Allison, you don't necessarily have a point of reference to this, but Bober and Terry do. There's a reason only 3 coaches in history have won a Super Bowl and won a national championship. And that's still Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, and Pete Carroll. So then that hasn't changed. So it was Johnson and Switzer from 95 on. But my point is, just because you're a good coach at the NFL or vice versa, because Saban found this out too. He was a 500 coach at Miami. He comes to Alabama and they loses 29 games in 17 seasons. So it doesn't always translate to being a good coach at a different level.
All right, let's move on to the games we want to focus on. And first game, got some redemption here. Pitt with a big win against Boston College, 48-7.
I don't know if this new quarterback, this Heitzel, is going to be the real deal or BC is just that bad. I mean, this is a true freshman throwing for 4 TDs and over 300 yards.
And that's the thing, because they lost Castellanos, right, to Florida State. So you don't know what they're left with. But, Pitt did it.
Yeah, and we play Florida State next week.
Right.
Well, it's not that Boston College has a bad coach either, talking about coaches. But Bill O'Brien, obviously, and is it still Adazio there at Pitt, Bober?
Yeah, it's Narduzzi.
Or Narduzzi, rather. I said Adazio. Yeah. That Steve Adazio was the other guy. Narduzzi, from the defensive coordinator before he was the head coach. Yeah. It is that team that's going to beat people they shouldn't and lose games they shouldn't. So, that's kind of been their MO for the last couple decades.
That's me saying that. I forget that I always end up at mark out moments on here instead of TNA top 10.
As in Phil Rizzuto? What am I
Well,
missing?
it's another movie reference, Rizzuto. Since we're talking about Saturday Night Live cast members, that's from
Rudo.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to throw it in there, but then I had to explain that wasn't pond water. Anyway, carry on.
But yeah, Pitt plays. You say Florida State there, Bober?
Yeah, they're at Florida State next week.
Be an interesting game. What do you expect to see? Because this is your show. As you pointed out in the group chat, a lot of this is me talking to myself, so y'all just sit there. What exactly do you expect to see? Look at Terry. What exactly do you expect to see?
This is going to show this game will show how this quarterback's going to be. I mean, if this guy comes out and puts up numbers like he did last week, then he looks like he's going to be the real deal. And Eli can go back to Bama. It was funny watching him come up and in mop-up duty yesterday. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he just hasn't looked good at all. And, I mean, he looked bad in the West Virginia game. He looked really bad against Louisville in a game that they had no business losing. And, I mean, between him and them getting flustered by a bad call is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was like a botched punt that should not have – it should have been fair catch interference. I mean, it was a horrible call by the refs on that. That turned out to be a fumble, and that changed the tide. We went from 17-0. They get the ball back, go down and score. Next thing you know, it's 17-17.
Yeah, kick catch interference is a real deal. So since you said West Virginia, I'd like to point out again that next year is going to be huge for Rich Rod because they can't do anything but lose this year. So they're only going up next year over there in West Virginia. Sing the country road song, Terry.
Is this going to be one of those Colorado got better kind of deals? They'll be 4-8 next year, so it'll be better?
No.
Well, Rich Rod was almost the head coach at Alabama, if you remember.
That's right.
What a joke.
Oh, as a former coach of Michigan.
16-9.
Anyway.
I believe that was the score. 16-9. 16-9. Or was it 13? I forget. And your boy Pat McAfee missed a bunch of kicks that game.
Oh, you're talking about the backyard brawl back in 2002?
Yeah, that's right. Was it 16-9 or 13-9?
Or maybe it wasn't 2002. It might have been 2005 or 6. Either way, West Virginia had a chance to play for the national title and did not. So
nope.
And that was before Rich Rod went to Michigan because he was a Michigan man. Lying bastard. He's from West Virginia. Move on. Terry, what's next?
We got Nebraska with a 38-27 Michigan State. And what's his name? Aiden Childs? Is that his first name?
Aiden Childs.
Yeah, Aiden Childs, 9 of 23 passing for 85 yards and 2 picks.
That's not
they didn't let him do nothing.
Number 1 defense in the country. Passing defense. Here's the problem with that. Is Nebraska takes the ball, drives it down 7-0. 3-and-out defense. Here comes the punt, block punt, 14-0. First quarter is about done. And all of a sudden they decide, you know what, we're not going to play anymore. And it's 14-7 at halftime. Then Michigan State comes out, picks off Raiola. Only, I believe, his 3rd turnover of the year. So we're okay with that.
Yeah.
That's all right.
14-14. Then it's 14-21, and they've given up their first 2. With a backup quarterback, they've given up their first 2 passes over 20 yards and touchdowns. Well, then here comes Nebraska in the 4th quarter, and they just put it on Michigan State. Michigan State couldn't do a damn thing. And this picture I have right here, that's my man, Isaiah Hunter. He caught the ball and ran out of his shoes, scored a touchdown 60 yards downfield. So he ran out of a shoe. He's got 1 cleat on and 1 off, running for a touchdown, and they couldn't catch him. It wasn't even close. But Raiola got sacked 5 times. Michigan sacked him 7 times. If your offensive line cannot protect your quarterback, you don't win football games. Now,
boy, we'll talk about that more with Auburn later too. Goodness.
The defense in Nebraska, the run defense showed up, and you can see the pass numbers, Terry.
Right.
Childs didn't have a whole lot of time. It was pressure, and the minute he sat back, he was on it. You see, Raiola finished under 200 yards for the first time all season. This was a bad get for Nebraska because they had 2 weeks off, and that does matter. They had the bye week off of a loss. They came out flat in the second quarter. It went all the way to the third quarter, and then they decided, I guess we better play to win this homecoming game. And they gave away a garbage touchdown, but essentially scored 17 points in the fourth quarter, and even had a run back for a touchdown call back for holding. Bottom line is special teams look good, defense looked good. Offense was mediocre. They played for 21 minutes of 60. You're not going to do that and win ball games. So get your shit together for Maryland. You're only a 5.5-point favorite. Anyway, that's where we're at.
Well, let's move on to the next game. And we got Vandy running their mouth and went into Tuscaloosa and got the mouth smacked around a little bit.
Yeah, but 2 touchdowns. This is a Vanderbilt team that would have lost this game 56-0 5 years ago.
No, you're right. And Pavia needs to keep talking. I mean, he's got a swagger. That's something that Vanderbilt doesn't normally have. But the thought that they were going to go into Tuscaloosa after winning this game last year and beat them again, that's tough.
And I picked Vandy because, in order to win in the picks, you have to pick the underdogs that are going to win a game.
You do.
And then they got to win.
You do.
So, but I also still have no trust in Kalen DeBoer. I think he's an undisciplined head football coach, even though he's won everywhere he's ever gone.
Better at home than on the road for sure.
Nick Saban set such a precedent, as you know, Terry.
Yes.
As does every Auburn fan, what Alabama did. It is so weird watching somebody else on the football be the head coach and watch Alabama commit 8 to 12 penalties in a game. You're like, what did I just see? What did I just see?
Praying when I was younger, please make these Alabama fans shut up about Bear Bryant. This is not what I meant.
But yeah, Vandy is still a solid team. But here's the news, and we're going to get to the poll shortly. Alabama beats Georgia between the hedges.
Yeah.
And number 16, Vandy comes in with all the hype, and they shut that down too. And Florida State has now lost twice, once in overtime to Virginia, and they kind of got, which we'll get to, pushed around last night by Miami.
It may be next.
There it is.
28-22 was the final, but I think that was some back-end points toward the end of the game, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Miami was never out of control of this football game.
Right.
Even when they were down 3-0. You could tell Miami. You all have watched enough football. You've watched enough sports in general. You know when you're seeing a really good team and a team that just isn't quite going to match up. That's what this was. Rivalry aside, and this isn't the 90s, unfortunately, or even the 80s, where this was really, really fun watching Florida State and Miami. But again, Tony White, no adjustments on the defense. The U just out-muscled Florida State on the line of scrimmage. And, of course, Terry, you have a former head coach as your coordinator at Florida State, and Gus Malzahn. Right. Gus is going to do what he's going to do with athletic quarterbacks, but look at the passing line. 25 for 45 against a fairly good defense, top in the country. You're asking him to throw the ball 45 times against a top 10 defense.
I think the biggest impact, Gus is going to put up numbers offensively. He's going to play better in big games normally. But I think Nick Saban talked about this a little bit on game day, and this is not a prediction by any means. It definitely worked out that way at Auburn, but eventually Gus's offense is going to run into some issues with offensive line recruiting. They may not have as much trouble at Florida State because they're in Florida. That helps. And the fact that your defense is facing that offense in practice all the time hurts your defense because that's not the offense that you're seeing every week.
Mhm.
So that's the thing that Saban talked about. But, Florida State's still much better than last year, even though they did lose this game. Castellanos has the swagger we talk about. And they're still going to play well the rest of the year, but this is a second loss for them, and I don't know. I've got my concerns with Gus being OC, but who knows? He may be a head coach next year for all I know.
And for the Auburn and Nebraska fan in the room, the U is number 2 in the country according to the AP, Terry. Like this is the 1990s again,
Right?
I have a gripe with the voting poll. How is it
ours?
No,
we're infallible.
Not ours, not yours here.
Perfect.
I'm talking about the AP and the ESPN and all of that. I want to know how some teams that are on a bye drop and other teams that are on a bye moved up. Like
Oregon dropped to number 3 to Bober's point. The U slingshots in front of them to number 2, and undisputed, essentially, Ohio State's number 1 for those of you who didn't see the top AP poll today.
Yeah, but there were some teams that jumped up quite a few spots that were on buys.
Yeah.
Yet Oregon drops on no fault of their own. And I don't think they should have dropped.
With probably, other than maybe the way the Texas and Ohio State game was hyped, they probably have the most impressive win of the season so far. Going into College Station, going into Happy Valley, and winning in overtime against that defense.
And yet they dropped.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Bober's what I'm saying. They probably have the best win of the season of anybody. Because even when I joke about Lane Kiffin and LSU, that was at home. They didn't go to Tiger Stadium and take it from LSU. They defended the house. And that is extremely important. And Penn State was not able to do it with 111,000 drunk Pennsylvanians at 7:30 at night.
I knew
except for that little corner, that little section way up in the right corner that was all green.
Little bit of a correction. You said College Station. I'm like, hey, that's not right. State College.
State College, whatever. Yeah, College Station's in Texas.
Right.
State College.
Yeah.
Point being, probably the best win of the season, Oregon Falls, because they didn't play this week.
Sure.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen some detailed criticism.
And that's not to say Georgia Alabama wasn't a good game for Alabama, but I mean that environment at Penn State was next level. So anyway,
yeah, and I mean, and Penn State was ranked way up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next game. Speaking of Penn State,
Bober is up. I'm going to go ahead and let him lead, Terry.
Go ahead.
I was at the bar with some friends watching the end of this game, and it was just, I mean, you're in Pittsburgh whenever surrounded by Pitt fans when a cheer goes up at the end of this game, whenever they stopped them on fourth down. It was just so pretty. And it couldn't have happened to a nicer team.
And Nico went off. I mean, not a lot of passing yards, obviously, but pretty respectable passing. He had 128 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, and he passed for 2 more touchdowns.
Wait, that's the quarterback?
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking good there.
This is the guy that was at Tennessee last year.
Yep.
That everybody's been making fun of all year because he went to UCLA. And the best joke, though, is all 40 fans rushed the field at the end of this game.
Oh, yeah. The
oh, my God, was that stadium empty?
Oh!
They need a different stadium.
What?
I mean, I think
they
had said that.
39,000 in attendance. I said, where the hell are they all at?
Yeah.
But I thought I was watching a Pitt game.
Yeah, I mean,
with that crowd. But here's the thing is Penn State lost to a winless team
without a head coach.
They are the most overrated team in the nation.
Not only were they winless, they had not even held a lead all year in any game up to this point.
Holy cow.
Yeah, this is one of the two we were talking about 2 weeks ago, Allison.
Yep.
Virginia Tech fired their coach, and they should have, because apparently they lost to Old Dominion. And UCLA fired Deshaun Foster 14 or 15 games into his tenure. These guys, they don't even have a head coach. They have an interim head coach who goes and beats the number, whatever team they were in the country this week, 7, 9, 10, whatever it was. And UCLA built that huge lead, and there was no way for Penn State to come. I don't care how good you are. At one point, weren't they up by 30? Genuinely,
oh yeah,
UCLA,
they stormed back and almost got there.
I was
afraid Penn State was actually going to win this. Yeah. But then UCLA kept scoring, though. At one point, Penn State starts coming back, and UCLA put more points up.
They're like, nah, good try, but nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the point is that UCLA, I mean, this is any team, and when you start looking at, once you get outside of Oregon, Ohio State, Miami, right now, anyway.
Yeah.
You look down that line, it is wide open, and this is one of the reasons why. I mean, UCLA against Jim Knowles' defense, you just said Terry Nico rushed 128 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. You're not going to spy a quarterback like Nico Amaliva.
Right.
Well, I would tell you to spy him. But anyway, enough of that. UCLA sucks. Penn State sucks worse because they lost to him. But anyway, Nebraska's going to put an ass whooping on both of them.
Speaking of overrated, here's the other one you talked about. Texas goes to the swamp and learns what the swamp is about. Now, I'll say this. Billy Napier needs his back to the wall for his team to come out swinging.
Because apparently that happened last year, too. I mean, seriously.
Lagway, almost 300 yards passing, 457 total yards of offense for Florida against Texas.
This is the DJ Lagway we all thought we were going to see for the last 4 games.
Right.
Like this guy. And to your point, Steve Spurrier named it the swamp back in the 80s for a reason. You did not go into Gainesville and win football games.
Nope.
You just didn't. You weren't going to beat them at home. But 6 quarterback sacks on a Texas offensive line. And I may have told you all this at the beginning of the season, which is one of the reasons I picked Texas to win the national championship. They have 5 returning starting linemen at Texas. And they allowed 6 quarterback sacks.
Right.
Returning 5 starters. And they made Arch Manning look average. So he has yet to beat anybody of any significance.
Right. And that's why I said that's a possibility they just win 6 games this year.
Yeah.
They got some big teams coming up. I mean, Vanderbilt, you can't chalk that up for a win.
Well, and as good as Uncle Peyton was at Tennessee, he didn't win the national championship because Nebraska beat the brakes off of him 42-17. As y'all remember, I remind you, the last national championship. But Eli played for Ole Miss, and they didn't win tons of games while he was there either. So, it's not that he's not got the NFL pedigree, but the expectations of him were so high, and I bought into it the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
When you watched him step in last year for years, he looked like a guy that could play ball.
Right.
Florida made him look silly, and this is not a good Florida football team, or they hadn't been up to this game.
Exactly. Moving on. Okay. Here's the top 10 list. The poll. Ooh. Thanks everybody who voted. This is a week 7 poll. That's how they name them.
At least your listeners are smart.
So just kind of like Andrew stated, I'll run through this, but you'll notice exactly what he said in this poll. Number 10, Texas Tech at 5-0. That's the top Big 12 team in the poll. Indiana at number 9 at 5-0. Georgia at number 8 at 4-1. Texas A&M 5-0 at number 7. Alabama 4-1 at number 6. Ole Miss at number 5. They're 5-0. Number 4 is Oklahoma 5-0. Number 3, Miami 5-0. Number 2, Oregon 5-0, and number 1, Ohio State 5-0. Now, what I'm saying here is Andrew said this exact same thing. You got these three top teams, and then you got this big mess of teams that are all pretty much because there's 5 consecutive SEC teams here, and I can't tell you which order they should be in.
No.
Other than Alabama beat Georgia.
And Texas Tech has won games impressively.
Yes.
So I think they belong. They spent $56 million on this football team.
Oh, I don't know.
Player payout? It might be more than that.
That's more than what Bob Nutting pays his players for the Pirates.
Yeah. So my point was that
probably 10 times what the Marlins pay their players.
Yeah, they paid a lot of money for that team. Indiana, of course, was off this week. Old Cigarette Kurt. I tell you, and I said this the last time we were together. The man is the personification of a filterless Pall Mall. I mean, he just looks like a cigarette. Smoking Kurt Signetti.
His brother was offensive coordinator for Pitt for a little while.
Yeah, I'm not a Kurt Signetti fan, and it isn't because they beat the brakes off Nebraska. It's because of the way he carries himself.
Yeah,
that dickhead is about to hit Murderers Row in the Big Ten this weekend because I believe he draws Ohio State, Oregon, and maybe Michigan or Wisconsin like consecutively. And so that's not an easy row to hoe. So we'll see how he does. But
well, hey, if they got Penn State on the schedule, there's a win.
But Oregon, and Ohio State to me are the top. And Miami has proven that you until somebody beats them, they belong. But I think personally, and this isn't a slight at Terry because I saw how the Auburn game went, all defense. I don't know that Oklahoma is number 4.
I don't either, and I was going to say the same thing. I put Texas A&M above Oklahoma because I think Texas A&M is a better team than Oklahoma, and I know Oklahoma has a couple of higher ranked wins, but to me, I just think Texas A&M is a better all around team.
Well, when you look at it, Oklahoma took down who? They took down Auburn,
right? And they had so. Let's see, between A&M and Oklahoma, I guess A&M beat Notre Dame and Oklahoma beat Michigan.
Okay, so Oklahoma beats Michigan and Auburn. A&M beats Auburn and Notre Dame. So probably pretty even criteria there.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, I love y'all, and I love Big Game Lane because he makes me laugh. But Ole Miss is not the number 5 team in the country just because they beat the Tigers at LSU. You don't even have LSU on this list. But there, to me, is no way that Ole Miss is number 5 in the country.
But my problem, though, is then you got to figure out who do you put there.
Alabama. They beat Georgia, and they took care of Vandy. And, yes, I know they lost to Florida State, and they got dominated physically, but their bounce back's been pretty good. Georgia's probably in the right spot. I think A&M deserves to be about where they are. But Alabama, to me, is the best SEC team. And it's not because they're Alabama. It's because of who they beat after they lost.
But that loss for Alabama might not look as great in a couple of weeks.
Depends on how Florida State responds. You're correct. Right. Because they've lost to both Virginia and Miami at this point, which I don't think anybody, if they were really honest, thought that Florida State was going to beat Miami.
No, but the Virginia loss, that might turn into a good loss depending on what Virginia does the rest of the way. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to beat Louisville last week or this past weekend either.
Yeah, but I think Oklahoma's a little high. However, I mean, if they got the Red River shootouts got to be coming up between them
next
and
week.
That's
week
next
7.
Week.
So there you go. Anyway, good list. I think it's the top 3 and everybody else. Because here's the thing I would predict, and I think this is fairly accurate. You're going to see those bottom 7 and 9 teams continue to rotate through.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be proven, and I know we're several weeks in, a lot of 5-0 teams, but in those 5 wins for a lot of these teams, there's still questions.
Well, in Oklahoma, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Terry, all very possible that they lose any given Saturday.
Right, and look,
because that's the one thing we've said.
Florida to beat Texas.
We've said it about the SEC, though. It is you are how is it that I always put it in the SEC? They end up. It's going to end up being they become casualties of their own conference, where you've got really good football teams that would be a conference champion in any of the other 3 or could compete for it, but they're not going to be in the SEC.
Right.
They cannibalize their own conference, because I promise you ain't going to keep 6 SEC teams below Miami for a long time. It just won't happen.
All right, let's get into week 7. And the first thing I want to talk about in this is we have updated our Florida slide here. They got a W against Texas, but now the reward for that is they go to Texas A&M. And, obviously maybe Florida put their backs against the wall and they're fighting out. This might be a pretty dang good game in College Station this weekend.
I don't think so. 110,000 College Station. Aggies all the way.
I think so too, but I think it's going to be closer than if you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have thought 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
The way that Florida
they could shrink the deficit, but the one thing about the Texas win is it was still only 1 score.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in one of the hardest places, regardless of who the team and the coach are, to win the football game. And A&M, likewise, one of the hardest places to win a football game.
It is.
Terry can attest to this. Auburn goes on the road in an absolute slugfest with A&M. There was no offense in that game. It was all defense.
Well, the offensive line was complaining they couldn't hear. So Auburn was trying to adjust to the noise.
Yep. And that's what Florida's going to have to do with the pressure that Elko's going to provide from his defensive front. Going to be ugly at times. But anyway, carry on, Terry.
Let's go to the next game. Here's a list. I don't have any graphics individually for these games. So we got Georgia at Auburn this weekend. I think we're going to learn something about Georgia here. Unless Auburn has made some real adjustments in the off week, I think it's going to be a really low scoring defensive affair. Okay. Dave's catching up on the conversations.
He texted me. He's texting me.
So for those who aren't watching, Tepsi said Jeff Jarrett is one thing, but raise up off of Ole Miss. Ole Miss is her team.
Hey.
We love you, Teppy. Sorry.
It's possible that Lane has them the best team in the SEC. We just don't know who it is at this point. Yeah. It's possible. But yeah, I think Georgia's just too much. It's Georgia. Even if they aren't Georgia, it's going to be Auburn probably keeps it fairly close just because I don't know that anybody's really whipping Auburn because of the defense, and it's at home. But I'm seeing Georgia by a touchdown here.
That touchdown is because of Kirby Smart. He's the best coach in the SEC, and it's not close.
Yeah.
So
unless it's Lane, maybe it's Lane.
They've got the program, they've got the organization, they've got the victories, they've got the 2 national championships, they've got the SEC. That's where I say he's the best coach. He has essentially made his program what it was at Alabama. what Saban did, Kirby's done. I don't know that Kirby is quite the coach that Saban was, but that, the man is on Mount Rushmore. This is what I will say. Auburn is a very hard-hitting defense, and if they had a stitch of offense at all, they'd win a lot of football games.
Right.
Because that defense is for real. But I also watched a Nebraska team 15 years ago that had a real defense led by some guy named Dominican Sue. I heard he did pretty good. But they couldn't win the big games because their offense could not score.
Right.
So, there you go.
And Auburn still has the kicking problem. We got this great kicker that's automatic inside 40 yards because he doesn't have the strength to kick it farther.
I agree with you, though. I think Georgia-Auburn is going to be very competitive. I can't remember the last time I saw, and you all can weigh in on this because I don't remember. When was the last time Kentucky got beat the way Georgia beat them this week? And that may have been some motivation from the Alabama lump. But, these are the ones over the last few years. In the SEC East, it's been one-score games, Kentucky and Georgia. To the point where Georgia last year had to battle back, didn't they?
Yeah, I remember watching that game. That was ridiculous.
Well, remember, Stoops was ready to go to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And thought he was going to get the job, and it became public, and then he went back to Kentucky, and there's rumors lately that he's asking to end his tenure. He's asking them for it to be over. And it's just, that's bad.
Yeah, but I can't remember when I've seen a Kentucky team lose by 3 or 4 scores to Georgia because they always play proud. So anyway, I'm with you though, Terry. I don't believe in Hugh Freeze. I just don't. And when it comes time to make the big coaching decisions, I don't think he's got it in him. And offensively, as good as Auburn is, or defensively as good as they are, they can't match up against Georgia with what Georgia can do with the pressure offensively, particularly like you're saying, get into a special teams. Let's have a field goal contest.
They're going to lose that too. Yeah,
they're going to lose. So I'm going with Georgia as well, but it's a talent thing. It's a coaching thing. But I expect this to be one of those games where they're going to knock the crap out of each other for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that defensive line of Auburn is for real. The front seven of Auburn is legit. But they don't have Cam Newton back there like they did in 2010. And they don't have Cadillac running the ball like they did in 2004. So, that's going to make all the difference in the world.
Nebraska and Maryland. What you got, Andrew?
Well, the Tagovailoa kid's finally gone. So, and Nebraska quits making stupid mistakes like turning the ball over. This week, 6 penalties, 1 turnover. Last week, or against Michigan, no penalty or 1 turnover, 3 penalties. So they're cleaning up the elements of the game they got to clean up. Here's the thing. Dylan Raiola's got to go be Dylan Raiola. He's got to throw the ball some. They put out Holgorsen put out that, he's not going to just run the ball for the sake of running the ball. You got to play to your strengths. Well, here's the thing. When Michigan State started to overrush Dylan Raiola and they sacked him 6 times, what happened after that is we started throwing wide receiver screens. How do you slow down a pass rush? You throw a screen. And so then Isaiah Hunter, as you saw in my picture, blows it out of the park, or out of the field. So Nebraska's offense way too strong for Maryland. Maryland can't compete. It's going to be closer because it's at Maryland, but the Huskers take this by 14 or more. And they just roll to 5-1 and they get ready for Minnesota.
All right. So now we got Ohio State at Illinois. Do we see Ohio State just obliterating Illinois in this game? Or did Illinois get that from Indiana and they've learned their lesson and they actually put up a fight?
Bober, you go ahead, buddy. Are you paying attention to Ohio State and Illinois at all?
I think Ohio State's going to win this one. And I'd say Ohio State by 17.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going.
They're just a machine.
Yeah, I'm going with Ohio State all the way on this, and I think they win by 5 touchdowns at Illinois, and here's why. This is the opportunity for them to make a statement. They did it with Minnesota 42-3, but Minnesota is not Illinois. And I don't care what anybody says. Ryan Day is just that coach that wants everybody to know, strut ass out there, this is my guys. Our defense is going to take the ball 3 or 4 times from Illinois, and we're going to run it right down their throats with our team. I think Ohio State wins this game by 30 or more. And the reason for that is because this is the statement game he gets to make to remind everybody before the playoff voting comes out that they are the team to beat. And this is why.
30 is a big number. But I do think it's going to be 3 touchdowns. Ohio State, Illinois. All right, let's move on to Pitt at Florida State. What kind of confidence you got, Bober?
Pitt will need Des Reed to come back from his injury. Pitt will need Kyle Lewis to be a major factor on defense. And Pitt will need Heitzel to prove that last week wasn't just because they were playing a bad team. If he can put up similar numbers to what he did yesterday, Pitt has a puncher's chance. If not, then Florida State gets back on their horse and runs away with it. And they got to protect the ball as well. Pitt needs to protect the ball.
So,
what do you think, Andrew?
Who's going to win? Wait, I didn't hear a prediction of who's going to win.
I did not pay. I mean, it's just going to – I think Florida State's going to win.
He's afraid to pick it, Allison.
That's what I'm trying to – I'm trying to make him. Come on.
I really think that Florida State is going to win.
Okay.
But
well, I'm not afraid to say what I think, as you all know.
You don't say.
Florida State is a superior athletic football team to that of Pittsburgh, as they should be based on resources alone. Resources alone. Mm-hmm. However, Florida State is a joke as it comes to coaching. Their head coach is a joke. The defensive coordinator we said goodbye to this past season at Nebraska doesn't make in-game adjustments. And the new head coach, as soon as they decide to fire him, is the offensive coordinator, Gus Malzahn. So once they decide to fire, what's his face, Mike, whatever, the head coach,
Norvell.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, Norvell, thank you. Gus is going to be the head coach of the Florida State Seminoles. So what you're saying is he'll be the head coach of both teams that won games against him for national championships. That is correct. Correct, sir. So, because, the University of Central Florida beat him in the Peach Bowl for the Natty. 13-0. Scott Frost team.
That's how that works these days, the Peach Bowl.
You see how he baited me, Allison?
I see it.
I was making a point and he baited me.
Wait,
you want to talk about baiting?
Mr. Syracuse decided to show up finally.
Yeah,
what's happened to his orange? He was puffing his chest up after they beat Clemson. What's happened to them the last 2 weeks? I don't want to hear about their damn quarterback being hurt.
Lord, here we go. Bober's here.
Man up.
So, anyway, I think Florida State should win this by 2 touchdowns. I don't have the faith or the trust in the Florida State coaching staff to make the decisions that are necessary in order for Florida State to have a really good season, because they've proven that they don't. Again, Tony White let his defensive line get dominated in the second half of that Miami game. If Pitt can run the ball and give your young quarterback opportunity for play action pass, you're right. Pittsburgh has a fighter's chance. I'm still taking Florida State by 14 because it's at Doak, but Florida State will not put Pittsburgh away easily.
I say Florida State by 10. That's the number I kind of landed on. I was considering 17. They have the ability to go out there and make it like a 24-point game. I don't think they're going to do it, though.
No. I think you're 2 scores. I mean, you and I are on the same wavelength, Terry. I think we're on 2. I think you're 2 scores.
Going back to what you were saying, Andrew, that's why Des Reed needs to play in this game.
No.
He's been out the last 2.
Florida State by 100. Welcome to the ACC.
Hey, Devin, Pitt just picked off Syracuse for another pick 6.
That, my friends, is called a callback to last year. Terry, I heard that there's a big game in Texas, the Oklahoma-Texas game. We used to call it the Red River Shootout before too many school shootings in this country. Now I think it's just the Red River Rivalry or whatever they call it.
Right.
Do the Sooners have enough magic in the wand to beat Texas or not?
See, this is the tough part because we were just talking about thinking that Oklahoma was overrated, but Texas is really struggling and they've dropped off the table completely.
Oh.
Do they pull it together against Oklahoma? I don't
Oklahoma's
think they can.
quarterback is also out for the season.
And they're
For the
playing in
season?
Texas, right?
Yeah, surgery.
It's neutral
Yeah,
site.
surgery.
I thought he was supposed to come back. Let me look.
Didn't I see he was out for the season?
I don't think he's out for the season. I think it was a surgery he could bounce back from. That is key information here.
Yeah.
When will John Mateer return?
And Allison, that the Oklahoma-Texas game is always a neutral site, but it is played.
That's why I put versus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank
At
you.
least it used to be. I don't know if it's still
yeah.
there or not.
I think
I would
it's
think
still-
it has
it's
something
either
to-
there or is it at Jerry's World?
So Venables is saying he's assuming that Mateer will not play against Texas, but the
Okay.
expectation is he's going to come back within a week or two.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the
I thought it was
surgery was
season-ending
something.
surgery.
No. It's definitely something he can come back from.
Oh, okay.
Good.
So that
But
that
without-
changes things completely. But
But yeah, without Mateer, Oklahoma doesn't have any offense.
right, they definitely didn't run the ball against Auburn. Other than Mateer, I don't know. That's a tough. I still think Oklahoma's got it because I just have no confidence in Texas at this point. But
Thanks,
I think
Dave.
it's more like a field goal or a touchdown.
I mean, this is a 12-15 game to me. Like,
Yeah, you're
that's
right.
what, like
It's
6 to
probably gonna
9.
be-
Yeah,
Some
unless
defensive
somebody-
play may win this football game.
yeah, somebody breaks loose and scores late or something. I mean, I would call this like 17 to 9 or 17 to 12 or
Yeah.
15 to 9. One score, but give me Oklahoma only because I think they've got a better defense than Texas.
Oh, this does good point here by Dave. Cotton Bowl during the Texas State Fair.
That's
And
what I thought,
anybody-
yeah.
And
Oh,
anybody that watches his show,
I have been
his
to that.
daughter was on there talking about the Texas State Fair this past episode.
Mm-hmm.
So it all comes together.
I had to catch the
Gained
rewatch
about
to
15
work.
pounds listening to that show.
I have watched that. I have been to the Texas State Fair, and it is impressive.
So the last game, Michigan at USC.
Who cares?
Who cares?
And they
This
both
one, I
lose?
mean, these are two second-tier Big Ten teams, right? I don't know. Can Michigan go to USC and win this, Andrew? We don't
No.
have to spend much time on it. So you
Oh,
think
wait.
USC?
Can Michigan go to USC and win this in the Coliseum? Absolutely.
Okay.
So Michigan has a defense, and they've got a very good mobile quarterback. USC, of course, has Lincoln Riley and probably 4 of the top 25 offensive players in the country. But as we know, they don't play defense.
Right.
They lost to, or they won. No, they lost to Illinois by 2. Michigan's going to play a much more physical brand of football. They've got 2 pass rushers on the defensive edges that are going to be NFL first round or second round picks next year. And I do not live in a world where I would ever pick USC when Lincoln Riley is the head coach in a big game. Lincoln Riley is got pretty offense. He's the girl you want to take to the prom, but he's not going to get it done. So Michigan by 9. Just
Okay.
an arbitrary number, 9.
So that'll be week 7. We'll talk about the results of that next week. And why don't we move along to wrestling? And we got Crown Jewel coming up next weekend in Perth, Australia. And just like they always do, they don't have many matches scheduled for this. They're not AEW after all. So let's talk about them.
Okay.
So we got Rhea and Io Sky going against the Kabuki Warriors in a non-title of any kind tag team match.
That will be fantastic.
What city is Rhea Ripley from? Oh yeah, Perth. Yeah. Rhea and Io in a runaway.
Well, no matter what, honestly, I think it's Rhea and Io in a runaway, if they were in Australia or not.
But they're going to do the feel-good moment thing. It is Rhea's hometown. I was being a
little God, yeah.
But yeah, they're going to do the feel-good moment thing.
If Vince was still in charge,
yeah,
Io would be turning heel on Rhea.
Yep.
Probably.
I think we're going to see Kyrie going heel on Asuka, or face, I guess.
But my girl Asuka just had her birthday. Come on now.
That's right. And I think, in all seriousness, they've opened the show with that match because they're going to get the crowd loud. And when Rhea's song hits, all them people in Perth are going to freak out. So I would imagine this opens the show, and I would think that Rhea and Io win fairly handily. Particularly based on the way the creative has gone the last couple weeks, where the Kabuki Warriors keep getting the best of them. This is just classic wrestling. The bad guys win, the bad guys win, the bad guys win until the match, and then the good guys win.
Yep.
The real question is who's getting up at 8 a.m.? Certainly not me.
I have to work.
I will be up.
Don't know that I'll be watching it, but I'll be up.
I'll watch
I do
it.
have, and I didn't mention this during the baseball talk, but it's not relevant to anything, but it does matter. I have a resignation letter written that says I'm fucking off because I won the lottery. I will change it when Aaron Boone gets fired to I'm fucking off to take over the New York Yankees. But there's 100% a fact. If they hired me for WWE to run creative, I would say the same thing. Never would I accept a job for AEW. I know you all needed to know that, but never.
Okay, we did. Thank you.
Job. Never. Ever. Okay. Snowman. Anyway.
What other matches are there, Terry?
Well, I'm looking at it because I have 4 that I saw, but I'm seeing Roman Reigns on this poster, and I'm like, I didn't list him.
They had, I thought it was champion versus champion at this.
It is. It's 7.
Roman's not a champ.
Right. That's why that's weird to me.
Well, Roman is the reason WWE exists in 2025.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'll have you all know.
So the men's non-title match, Cena versus AJ Styles.
That'll be good. I think
it'll be a good match.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun to see how that works, because to me, AJ Styles definitely still has it, where John Cena, I love you, dude, but you're no AJ Styles.
He has looked good since the Punk match. I'm sorry, Andrew. The Punk match and going further, he has looked a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't I hate what they've done with John Cena this year. I think it's been nothing but a major letdown, and I still blame Dwayne for that. I think it's 100% The Rock's fault that the story didn't go the right way. It had such a good foundation, and then they just pissed all over it. So, I mean, at this point, I want the Cena run to end, mostly so that we can just remember him as Super Cena, and he can be the 17-time WWE World Champion, and him and Flair can argue about who won it more times or whatever over, cocktails. But the match, because it's AJ, will actually be decent.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he got squashed by Lesnar, and we just drop it because it's the Cena tour. Like, there's no continuity to this John Cena story at all. So Brock Lesnar destroys John Cena, kind of like he did at SummerSlam, and now we're in Perth wrestling AJ Styles. So that's what I'm saying. Just get it over with, because really what you're doing is you've got to put him into the pay-per-view, and it makes sense to do so. So you've got to put him in. but then you're not building anything around him to go to the next month that makes any sort of sense whatsoever. But it'll be a good match because AJ Styles is in it. So, yeah, but Super Cena's probably going to win.
Okay,
And
question, just because I won't obviously be on whenever you talk about it. Who should be his last match? Get your predictions out now.
Gunther is who it's going to be.
Who do I want it to be, or who's it going to be?
Oh, okay.
I don't believe the conspiracy theory that Tony Khan is going to let Edge come wrestle John Cena one last time. So
my deal is anybody that would be the right one is too old.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Edge would be a good one because of their history, but at the end of the day, that match would suck.
Yeah. So I agree with my dad. I want to say The Rock.
It would be nice. That would be the most fitting, probably.
Yeah.
That would
capable
be
of doing it.
I think Drew.
And they could almost make up for the fuck up in February with The Rock by having The Rock close it down. Drew's a good choice because Drew's a good heel.
Yep.
But he's got no history with Cena. Neither does Gunther. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. Neither does Gunther.
I think Gunther comes back for Brock.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Because a lot of people are saying Brock is going to come back and be the final opponent, so Cena will finally get it over. But that's exactly my point. We've seen it now.
Nobody wants to see that.
Well, and nobody would believe it. But I mean, Brock Lesnar, 47 or 8 years old, looks like he could still kill a moose with his bare hands. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get into the two championship matches a little bit. We got Stephanie Vakir versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship.
Sorry.
Go Stephanie.
Go Stephanie here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Tiffany, but I mean,
no, Stephanie
I
all
love
day.
Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, WWE might run on Tiffy time, but the Devil's Kiss is over. And the thing is, they've got the momentum. I said Tiffy with F's. They've got the
momentum. I'm saying it's Steffi time.
Yeah, he said Steffi time.
Steffi time. Oh, okay.
Can I just be the meat inside their bread sandwich?
No, you can't.
I mean, if it was Rhea and Stephanie, you would have to fight me for that spot. So yeah.
But I would say, I mean, I would honestly say I think they put it on Stephanie because the momentum is there with her, and she's obviously someone they see as a very important piece to the future of the company in the women's division. So I'm going with Stephanie. Not that Tiffany's not important, but Tiffany's already kind of had the belt, and it's been a real lackluster run for her over there on SmackDown. They don't want to accidentally saddle Stephanie with that same sort of thing.
Why is Jade on this poster instead?
And Drew, there's 3 of them on here that don't have
matches. And Roman.
Let me tell you. So I went to Wikipedia page. This was the picture they had, and they told me the 4 matches, and 3 of these people aren't even in those 4 matches. So I don't, it's a weird mix of stuff here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, who cares?
That's what you get for trusting Wikipedia, I guess.
Yep.
But then the final match, Cody against Seth for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship.
Seth needs to win.
Seth needs to win. I agree.
Yeah, he needs it far more than Cody, but I don't think that I think Cody Rhodes has become Hulk Hogan and that Cody must pose. So, I mean, I think that because you're going to celebrate and he's going to spank. And I know you laugh when I said that, Allison, but I mean, he has literally just become that guy. Yep. He's Hulk Hogan. He's Super Cena. He's Roman Reigns. I mean, that's.
Yep.
I think that Seth needs it far more than Cody, but I think that Cody wins because he's Cody.
And it's also, I mean, we're fighting for a meaningless championship.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. In a foreign country, which is like a bot house show. So
I think there's shenanigans and Seth wins.
Of course there's shenanigans.
Always shenanigans, because we have to get, if I may, we have to get to Survivor Series where we're going to have the War Games, which I made famous with the oversized cell phone. Sir. Thank you, Medusa.
Yes.
Anyway. The
All right.
shitty wrestling. What's happening, Terry? Oh, nothing this week.
Nothing.
We're
We're
not talking
skipping
about
shit.
it.
I mean,
We're
honestly,
already behind. We're getting notices
Oh.
from Allison in the chat that we need to hurry the hell up. So we're not
He's
talking
got a
about
new
I'm
job.
yawning.
I'll
I'm-
just say this. Honestly, the NXT TNA card for Tuesday interests me more than this pay-per-view.
Okay. Good to know.
You want to know what interests me? Live from 4 locations across the eastern United States, movies starring SNL cast members and your host, Mike Bober.
That was good.
Yeah, the Bobes. Look at this. Look at this hockey ball.
I've
hockey.
learned
Magnet.
that there needs to be a gap in the conversation before I lead into that. So when I break up the video for YouTube, I've got an obvious spot to do it. But
There you go.
anyway,
Perfect.
great pick for a poll.
Yes.
Mike Bober, thank you for coming on. And we really enjoyed this. When I can vote and I just start picking things that I want to vote for that might be top 10, and I end up with like 18 or 20, I
Yep.
know it's a good poll.
That
I
was the
probably
poll for
picked
me.
15 or more. Yeah,
Same.
for the final poll.
It got really, really difficult to narrow these down, especially for me. There were groups of movies
Yeah.
and characters or actresses where I'm like, I want all of these because
Yes.
they were so good. So I had to, that's how I kind of made my decision. I went, all right, a couple from this group, a couple from this group, a couple from this group.
I'm not asking for a prediction because that would be based on other people voting. But let me ask each of you, and I'll start with Allison.
Yes.
What do you hope is number 1?
Number 1, Step Brothers.
Okay. Andrew, I think we know your answer.
Yeah, we know yours.
Tommy Boy. Yeah.
Bober, what's your number 1?
Fever Pitch.
Fever pitch.
I'm gonna eat you. You are the worst, Bober. The absolute worst.
And just like always, it's like I don't remember what I voted number 1, honestly. So I don't even know how to answer that. And then, of course, I ask you the question, but mine would probably be, oh goodness, I don't know. I'm a really big fan of Coming to America, so let's call that one.
My honorable mention is the one that my tagline is for, Spies Like Us, but I realized that a lot of you guys are way too young
Oh
to
yeah,
have seen that movie. So, but that was phenomenal. That was such a good
was.
movie. Okay, let's do this. What just missed the list?
Just missed the list. We've got Bridesmaids, Caddyshack, Stripes, and Talladega Nights.
Okay,
I
so
like that.
Caddyshack just missed the list, which shows you how good this list is. Legitimately.
Right.
Legitimately.
And
Stripes
Stripes.
is very good. Yeah.
And
And Stripes-
Bridesmaids.
I like Stripes better than Caddyshack. Don't shoot me. It's just a personal preference.
Right.
But
Yeah, I never watched Bridesmaids.
I think because yeah, that was what I was gonna say. That's why I think this didn't make the list because a lot of guys don't watch that. But Bridesmaids, the cast for this movie was exceptional. Exceptional. Great movie. Oh fuck. All of these
Yeah.
movies are great, honestly.
and that's why I said if these miss the list,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
I
Yeah.
must quote Talladega Nights all the time. I always say "Dear Baby Jesus" like all the time.
I don't think I even had that in my top 10.
Wow.
So I will say this, and Super Dave says probably should have limited it to ones produced by Lorne Michaels, but that's a good point. But I will say we said no Robert Downey Jr. Get him the
Yes.
hell out of here. He doesn't
Yes.
count. So we
Yeah.
did filter it a little bit.
And
Yeah, because
anybody from
otherwise-
that lost season did not deserve to be in there.
Let's start the
All right.
list. Number 10, Happy Gilmore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
that's
mean,
kind of low.
well,
a lot of good
not when you think about what else is on this list.
Yeah.
True.
This, I think this
Sandler
is
and McDonald. I loved this movie. I mean,
this movie was great.
It was.
pretty sick,
fantastic.
Chub. I took that bastard's eye out. You got the alligator eye.
Have y'all seen the recent one? The
I
Not
have
yet.
Yes.
Not yet.
What do you
It's
mean
very
not
good.
yet? It's been out for how many months?
So we got MJF, Becky Lynch, and Bad Bunny in this movie.
Terry just told on himself.
Nikki
We've
Bella
got
got
Becky Lynch and Becky Lynch
and somebody else.
Becky Lynch in this movie.
Well, no,
And
but these
one
are.
of the
But we got MJF and Becky Lynch. Those
Yeah,
are
and
like
one-
two of my favorite people.
And one of the Bella sisters got her part cut, I guess.
Yeah, Nikki.
Yeah.
Oh,
Her
poor
part was cut.
thing. You can look,
No,
but
Well, I've lost. They've lost credibility with me. They were at the Eagles game today.
Number
Anyway,
9,
I thought that was
Blues
Oh.
Brothers.
we're on a
Sorry
mission
to
from
cut you off
God.
there.
Classic.
Oh,
I was
I
on a
used to
mission
have
from God to tell you what number
badges.
9 was.
I used to
badges.
have a
We don't need no
shirt.
stinking badges.
I used to have a shirt that said "We're on a mission from God," and it was Belushi and Aykroyd. Belushi, so underrated, but like Farley died so young.
Yeah.
In the Saturday Night Live cast, I love when he was the chef. He was with the
Yeah.
katana. He had the samurai sword. Oh, so good.
Devin with a
Oh,
shit.
sorry.
Devin
That's
with
right.
a quote from Talladega Nights. I have to put
You
this
big
in here
red.
because that was so great. If you
That's
don't
right.
chew Big Red, then fuck you.
Yeah, Tom Osborne would agree. History-making Nebraska football coach.
Blues Brothers was
Damn
Super
Big Red.
Dave's number 1.
That's called age.
Yeah.
But
Well, I knew that was going to happen with this list for
Oh
sure.
yeah, and we see
Yeah.
that a lot with
We do.
some of these lists, but it's great because I mean we're talking movies starting in the 70s and going
Yep.
through now.
yeah, and in a similar vein, because I like some of these older movies, obviously, like this one, A Great Outdoors. If it's on the list, I mean, damn, it's like, come on, Aykroyd was on a roll for a long
Oh.
time. Anyway,
Yeah.
Number 8, Coming to America.
Coming to America. Okay,
I love
okay, so hold on, not to just beleaguer the point, but fucking Coming to America is number 8 on this list.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't point that out.
Let
Yeah.
your soul glow.
Oh
Sorry.
my
This is-
God.
I
This
always
is
say that.
McDowell. They have the golden arches. We have the golden. He says the
Arcs.
okay.
The golden arc.
arcs.
I can't pop myself before I could get it out. We have the golden arcs. Oh,
When you
so
think
good.
of trash, think of Akeem.
I also think one of the best things about this movie was when they play the guys in the barbershop.
Oh,
Eddie
it's
Murphy
excellent.
is so good.
And Arsenio Hall. Yeah.
Mama called
And
me
this-
Clay. I'm gonna call the motherfucker Clay. Talking about Cassius Clay's the greatest boxer of all time.
Was
Cassius
this
Clay,
not
greatest
one of
boxer
the
all
first
time.
movies where he predominantly played multiple parts?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Murphy was great. I mean,
Yeah.
he had I think the Dr. Doolittle is the demarcation on his career, but prior to Dr. Doolittle, he was fantastic.
He was on a roll.
He was, I mean, he really was. But yeah, when they do the whole Cassius Clay, Rocky Marciano, you always gotta bring up Rocky Marciano. So funny. God, it's funny. That'll be $20. He cuts the guy's hair off, the hair, the braid. He just clip. Anyway, what do you put
Number
in your hair?
7.
What kind of product do you use? Oh,
Number 7,
Oh,
Christmas Vacation.
absolutely.
Cheers, fool.
without a doubt.
Mark.
And I think was this at the top of our Christmas movies list? I don't remember this.
I think so.
I think it may have been.
Yeah.
May have been.
I love
Yep.
watching this every Christmas.
This-
Should
Yeah.
have been if it wasn't.
There's just so much in this movie that is so good.
See, Russ, no lines. Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy
Take
Hanukkah.
Ripley out. Oh, so good.
Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass.
You're
I
a-
mean, happiest group of merriest group of assholes ever.
Oh, and you can find those eggnog, those moose
Yes,
eggnog, or I guess
absolutely.
it's rain.
Wally World.
moose, reindeer eggnog cups.
Which,
Mhm.
were they not the moose from Wally World?
It's Wally.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? So it was
Yeah.
a moose. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's Wally.
I said maybe it was reindeer. I guess it is moose.
No, it was a
Oh,
moose. You're
so
right.
it's a throwback. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
you learned something new today.
I do. Number 6, Ghostbusters.
Hell yeah.
Who are you
This was
gonna
Dad's
call?
number one.
Another Harold Ramis production. Same as Stripes. Obviously, he was on a run there in the 80s. And how do you miss with this cast? And you didn't even put Ernie Hudson on the graphic. You know, I mean, Rick Moranis and
Gina Davis.
What's her face? Yeah, thank
Gina
you.
Davis.
No,
and
Sigourney Weaver.
And Annie.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sorry,
Annie Potts.
That's what I meant.
It was Annie Potts, but no, it wasn't Gina Davis. Allison.
Yeah, I know. I get actors and actresses confused. Remember the whole Gene Hackman?
Yes, Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. Gene Hackman.
Totally different people. Anyway, Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. That's who I was thinking of. But Ghostbusters is great. Great movie.
I am the gatekeeper.
Zool.
Are you the keymaster?
Are you the key?
All right. Get your boxing gloves on because this is the top 5.
The original Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation, number 5.
Christy Brinkley.
Sorry, folks, the park's closed.
Christy Brinkley's cameo in this movie.
Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Hot girl. Yeah, it's crazy. Yes, this is crazy. It's crazy. Yep, that one.
You know, I loved when they finally got to Wally World and there's nobody in the parking lot. He parks as far away as you possibly can to beat the traffic out when they leave. And then they have that race to get up to the gate. God, it is so brilliant. I love that.
It's so good. So good. And John Candy, like, great cameo again.
Right.
Yes. Another a good pick.
They drug the dog. Oh God.
What about the nasty ass station wagon?
Oh God.
Come on. How do you
not sandwich is wet?
The green with the wood paneling, the double light.
That was like legit back in the day too. Like that was a legitimate vehicle. Wood paneling was a thing, and I'm like,
you had money.
And it was an ad. That's the point. It was an ad that you had wood paneling on your station wagon. Good grief.
Andrew, that was your MLB app. You know that you can't hide money.
Oh
so if you've got a wood paneled station wagon, can't hide your money.
You also can't hide the fact it's an update. It is 1-0 Seattle over Detroit. But Big Dumper just got struck out by Scooble with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball toward his ear.
Scooble has been dealing tonight.
Yeah. Scooble has been getting after it. Number 4, Terry.
Number 4, Tommy Boy.
Wow.
Here he goes. He's going to complain.
Wow. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
How is this 4?
Wow.
Horrible. This is number 1 with a bullet. And y'all owe me an apology. This movie, I told them before the show, this movie's probably, I should have picked it up, The Reason I'm a Salesman. Because Tommy Boy is my favorite movie of all time. To the point where I used to be able to quote it line by line by line by line, like verbatim.
I should have worn my Callahan Auto Parts shirt.
Yeah, I did have a Callahan Auto Parts shirt.
I have
That's
one.
legit, yeah. And I had the whole speech when Aykroyd gets Rob Lowe the glass of champagne sent to his jail, put the ice to cool off your marbles. It's a Pine Sol. That's a taxi cab air freshener. Oh, good, you've located the source. Now it's time to get rid of it.
Richard, do I have a mark? It doesn't hurt here.
It doesn't hurt here or here.
Right here.
Yeah, it's so good. Spade and Farley were like the perfect pairing. Of guys to play with each other. Aykroyd
Tell me you don't. Whenever you try, sorry, Wilbur, go ahead.
I said, but yet Black Sheep wasn't as good.
No,
not a chance.
I was gonna say this movie has made trying on clothes so much more fun because I must say, in a little.
Richard, were you watching Spank Trevision? Or maybe it was one of those movies with that famous comedian, what's his name? Buddy Wackett? Oh, Richard, that's a pretty girl. Maybe she's going out with one of the Yankees. Yeah, I told you. I can get rolling.
Wait.
Tommy
right.
Boy's number
Who's your
one.
favorite? Who's your favorite little rascal? Is it Alfalfa or is it Spanky?
It's got to be your bull. Number 3, Elf.
What?
How
The
is that
Fiddlers.
ahead
What?
of Tommy Boy?
Over Tommy Boy?
I disagree.
And what's
Yeah.
interesting to me, Christmas Vacation won our Christmas
Yeah.
movie list, and Elf is several spots ahead of it in this list.
So I'm gonna defend this one because this is Will Ferrell's best movie, hands down. This movie is phenomenal, and if we're looking at this from an SNL actor standpoint, to me, there's a reason this is as high. Yeah, Devin, I think Elf was my 2 as well.
He was old school Frank the Tank, and I mean, he was pretty good in Old School.
But not as good as
pretty good in Anchorman. He was pretty good in Step Brothers.
All right, I'll give you that
Fuck
one.
you, San Diego.
You can't put anything on the teleprompter. Burgundy reads exactly what it says.
I go with Anchorman for his top movie.
All right, well,
As you know,
was
San Diego,
also-
as you learned, Allison, San Diego means whale's vagina, and you learned that on this show.
Well, that is correct. I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like lamp.
Lamp.
Number 2, Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Yes.
this is showing the age of the audience. Because
Yeah.
actually, the second one to me is the best one because when he does the Beverly Hills building inspector part and he tells the foreman doing the construction, there's not supposed to be any right angles on this house. No right angles. It'll be round as a donut. What are you, a fucking art critic? They want to live in a donut? Fuck it. Let them live in a donut. And to me, that is so funny. That and where Judge Reinhold continually is losing it. And they're like, Jesus, Billy, we got to talk. Like they see all his guns and they go, who are you? Dirty Billy? Dirty Rosewood? He's got the anti-tank missile at the end of the movie. Oh, so good. But
this is Bronson Pinchot was in this too, right?
Yes. Frank.
Oh man,
Frank.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
that's a throwback.
That's I mean, I remember him from Perfect Strangers. Where he played Balky Bartakovas because he was Greek. But
no, he was me Posian.
Yeah, all right. He had a yaya. He was Greek. Okay.
Lord. I didn't know we were such experts on Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, didn't you? Yes. Wasn't that Serge?
Serge.
Yeah, Serge. Try to say it like me.
No, he was I would say Frank. He would from whenever he was the hairdresser in Step by Step. He would call it Patrick Duffy Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
Oh my god.
Would you like good twist? Exactly. So try to say it with me. Aquel, Serge, Serge, Serge. And he calls him Aquel, which is hilarious.
Yes.
But this, anyway. I mean, again, also this movie was very good at the time it came out.
Oh,
when it came out, this was all the rage.
This movie was the shit when it came
out.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. So I can see why it's so high on the list.
And everybody still remembers the song. Dun 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 dun. Just like Nintendo. Everybody remembers the
song.
Yep. Whew. All right. Number 1, better be Step Brothers. Let's go.
Wow.
So you thought this was a throwback. Number 1, Animal
House.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wow, Step Brothers didn't even make the list. I am so mad right now.
Didn't even make almost made the list.
Wow.
I'm blown away too. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. But to be fair, again, another movie that is.
I mean, Belushi and
Ramis and Murray. And
I'm with you, Dave. I put Trading Places up there high on my list.
Yeah. There were so many to choose from.
Mm-hmm. Donald Sutherland in this movie.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Right?
And
Zero.
Yeah, it's the 0.0. Mr. Blutowski.
Double secret probation.
Yes.
They're already on probation, sir. We'll put them on double secret probation.
Oh my god, another one. There's a couple of them.
No Austin Powers. You know,
no Wayne World. No 48 hours, no trading places.
You know what's funny? It's just like anything else. When you go online and somebody has a top 10 something,
Mhm.
and all the comments, you learn the 30 choices that should have all been in the top 10.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, this list was very, very
Yeah.
hard.
Right. And sometimes we kind of shrink it down to just the 80s or
Right.
whatever. With this one, it felt like we didn't need to, other than making sure we didn't get the Robert Downey Jr. stuff in there.
Yeah,
and we also combined,
Correct.
like a lot
Franchise.
of them.
Most of them.
Most,
Except for-
other than vacations, a lot of them, that had multiples.
Because like Beverly Hills Cop, the first and second one are fine. Third one's garbage, and I don't know about the reboot because I hadn't watched it yet. But
Well, that's just like
that
Ghostbusters
SWF
had a
was not
reboot.
that great either.
I have no problem with any of the Ghostbusters.
yeah, and I don't know. I don't know about that. But I do know that this honestly was a lot of fun. And Belushi, if you want to talk about, just tying everything together, Belushi being one of the original or very close to original cast members of Saturday Night Live, and Animal House winning is pretty appropriate.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
said
I
and
agree.
done.
I mean, even for us older folks, Fletch was great too.
Yes.
I mean, and that wasn't
Yes.
mentioned by anybody, but there were so many choices there. I
But
mean,
there were a lot of Fletches too, which was great.
right.
Yeah. Those were great. I love those.
And let's not sleep on this, guys. Terry put It's Pat on the
Oh,
list.
yeah.
Okay.
And Stewart Saves the World.
Yeah.
Today that show would mean nothing because it's about an androgynous person. And
he had Superstar on the list.
Superstar.
Yeah, Superstar.
They fit the criteria.
I know, but
It's Pat.
Full transparency, I did put Fever Pitch 1 just because I wanted it to be on the list so it could piss off
nobody else
Allison
voted for
and
it.
Andrew.
I could go see. I could. Well, I don't know. I would have to.
And as we tell you regularly, Bober, you are just the worst. That's all.
You are.
And I own it.
Yes.
I started to put Bover's the worst in a tagline introducing the show this week. I should have.
Great.
It's fair, Dave. Coneheads didn't make the list, but I'll be honest with you, it's probably one of the worst of the Saturday Night Live movies. It's certainly one of the worst of the Spade Farley pairing.
Somebody read this.
My dad texts me a gif of Superstar and Molly Shannon throwing her hands up every time Ben Rice does something good. Superstar.
Oh, Devin, that's so good.
Well, Ben Rice is going to be catcher number 1 next year, and you'll hear more about that, Devin, next week as I predict what the Yankees are going to do in 2026 after the Blue Jays give them another country ass whooping coming up this week.
Super Dave wants us to do it again with movies.
Well, let me tell you, Dave, that sounds like it's pretty close to this same list. However, we're going to have to keep cranking out ideas. So we're definitely going to put it on the list because eventually we're going to run out of thoughts on this.
I mean, just off the top of my head, it's just Pat, Superstar, and Night at the Roxbury's. Those are the only ones that are coming up.
Well, what was the one? There was one.
And Coneheads.
No, there was another one. I can't think of his name. He was the guy. Okay, I'm going to come about this in a roundabout way. Saturday Night Live. He was the guy that was on The Office in one of the first episodes, maybe the first one, where they went to Chili's and they were singing Baby Back Ribs.
Oh,
who's that?
Yes.
Austin Powers. I mean,
I can't think of the guy's name, but he had a movie based on one of his Saturday Night Live characters. Sorry,
Ladies Man.
Ladies Man. Yeah, that's
Tim Meadows.
Yes, Tim Meadows. Oh my goodness.
My name is Leon Phelps, and I am the latest man. Can I buy you a fish sandwich?
Not at the Roxbury. Yeah.
Night at the Roxbury. Oh my God! I have a story about Night at the Roxbury. May or may not be
Hot
appropriate.
Rod, MacGruber.
The college.
No, Hot Rod wasn't a character. I don't think.
No. I'm not talking about the character. I'm just saying movies that.
I'm sorry, but Aquaman needed to have his own movie.
As a freshman in college, the person I was very romantically interested in loved Night at the Roxbury.
Oh, that's just wrong.
I know. I should have seen that as
Yeah.
Should have seen that as a red flag instead of
Yeah.
running toward it. I ran away. I ran toward it. Go ahead, Terry.
Movie starring SNL cast members. Number 10, Happy Gilmore. Number 9, Blues Brothers. Number 8, Coming to America. Number 7, Christmas Vacation. Number 6, Ghostbusters. Number 5, Tommy Boy. Number 4, Vacation. Number 3, Elf. Number 2, Beverly Hills Cop. And number 1, Animal House.
You had Tommy Boy and Vacation switched because Tommy Boy got number 4, Vacation got number 5.
I probably updated this and then.
Do you know the only reason I know that? Because somebody offended me, and Tommy Boy's number 1. Number 1.
Here's the thing. I don't know if I switched it here or the other page, so we're just going to ignore it.
I will say this: Brad Stanton will be happy that Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2 did not make the list.
Brad, who?
Good one.
Oh, you mean the one giving me analysis on what the Yankees should be doing with a pitcher who just went 8 and 107? That Brad Stanton, bitchin' Brad in the plaid. Yeah. Okay.
So sorry, I got that switched up. I'm
Love
not
you mean to check out the Egg Show.
No, don't.
Because it's still entertaining, and that's all we care about.
Agree.
What else we got? Let's talking wrestling with Pondwater and Amy on Markout Moments. And this week, according to Dave, they're going to be on Wednesday night, and they're going to have the Till 5 Wrestling podcast hosts on the show. For those that don't know about Till 5, they do, I guess you can say, competitions where they invite people on to draft teams of let's see. Okay, let me rephrase. So they invite people on, and they have competition where they will rank tag teams or greatest big men or whatever, and you debate, and then everybody votes, and then you have a tournament, and that's what Till 5 does. And Amy and Dave were on there a couple of weeks ago. Doing tag teams, and now they've got the return visit from the Till 5 guys. They're coming on the show Wednesday.
Nice.
It's good stuff.
And there's a lot more content on Markout Moments. Lots of football. Apparently, the former Filter Free Popcast guys, Drunk Pop, are still doing their thing. And I say still doing their thing because I haven't caught a show for a while. But they have a good time talking about pop culture. I did see their September 11th show. Very well done on the tribute there, gentlemen. And they try to handicap football, and they laughed at me, Teppy, when I said Big Game Lane was going to stunt on LSU. And guess what happened? Big Game Lane stunt on LSU. Because we stunt on them hoes, Allison.
Yes, we stunt on them hoes.
We stunt on them hoes.
That's our favorite phrase.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
So now let me tell you something I've been poking around at. We've had this logo for a while. I'm going to run it by you guys. I would never change it out without asking, but I handed this over to AI to say, what can you do with this? And I haven't seen anything great come out of it yet, but I may run some ideas past you guys coming soon.
All right.
Where's my Terminator meme? We're talking about AI again.
I said, make this 3D. I'm not super impressed with it yet.
Well, you usually take an hour-long fight with AI before you get what you want.
Well, the latest thing, it wasn't dealing with red shirts or anything. It kept making Bober way too handsome. And I said, you've got to back off of that. I know he's one of those hockey players and girls like that, but back off of it a tad.
Come on now.
I'm kidding.
No, he's not.
I thought it did really well, though. It did mess up the logo, and I had to really get it to do better on the logo this time.
Yeah, that's the best one I've seen with the logo and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty rough. It thought, just based on like the shading of like the bolt, it thought there was like this white square, and I'm like, there's no patch or anything on there. What are you doing? So I fought with it over and over again, but it finally figured it out.
Yeah, Terry loves to try to not put my sunglasses and beard on, but it's required and it's in my contract to appear on this show.
Oh man, it threw a fit. It would not give Andrew a red shirt one time. I mean, it's like, what the hell do you have against Andrew wearing a red shirt? I mean, it was ridiculous.
Absolutely insane that you would do such a thing. Anyway, it's been a fun 2 hours.
We don't know what our next poll is. Any more ideas, Bober, as you depart from us?
I threw out one of the. I had given you two with this one. I said
Right.
90s alt rock songs.
Even flow.
That's interesting. It's been.
I could do 90s.
I think when
rock,
Amy was on was the last time we did music, probably.
Yes, for her birthday. Yep.
Hair bands.
So that's been.
No, power
She had
ballad.
no idea what the hell she was
That's
talking
right.
about. It's just like when she starts texting about FTR.
Are we gonna have a big argument over what alternative means this time?
No, because
I think we can do that. 90s alternative songs.
grunge
Does alternative mean grunge?
No, it means derivative of grunge from the Seattle movement in the early 1990s and the
Is
late
it like
1980s.
Soul Asylum?
Nirvana, Soul
Gin
Asylum,
Blossoms?
Gin Blossoms.
Ooh, movie
Those
soundtracks.
would
Yeah,
not be in it. Is what he's
Hopefully
saying.
somebody's writing all
Oh,
these
see,
ideas
I
down.
think those
Nirvana
are
would
alternative.
absolutely be
Hold on,
alternative.
hold on.
Nirvana's grunge.
Okay.
I think Nirvana's grunge.
Nirvana is
Pearl
grunge.
Jam, that's grunge.
Is
I
grunge
agree.
part of alternative?
Pearl Jam is not grunge. Get away from me, Bover. There's gonna have to be a grunge
along my
alternative.
lines, I'm thinking like
They're
Green
I'm gonna have to do
Day,
some
If I
research
wear
on this.
flannel
Third Eye
when I listen to
Blind,
them, if I wear a
Blink.
flannel when I listen to them, they're grunge. So
Well, hold on.
Nirvana,
Are you
Pearl
wearing it
Jam,
around your waist?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Denim shorts with
Oh
black
man,
stripes
I'm
underneath.
already forming the picture in my
Yeah.
head.
So
I
you're
wanna-
talking, Bober, you're
yeah.
talking Third Eye Blind, just so we get this straight. You're talking Third Eye Blind, Bare Naked Ladies,
I wouldn't consider Bare Naked Ladies as
Deep
alternative.
Six, that version. Are you talking
I
about
don't
Blink
think-
182, Sum
Yeah.
41?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my I don't think Bare Naked Ladies they're more pop than
Offspring.
But it is. He
Yes.
did say 90s though, so
Offspring.
some of these I think would be more 2000.
Offspring is definitely 90s. They made the WPI men's theme
Right,
song,
right. Now
which
I
is
saw
self-esteem.
Offspring in Charlotte, North Carolina at
now
a
like Fallout
at
Boy
a
would
music
not be on the
festival.
list.
Man, Offspring is one of the most underrated bands ever.
Yes,
Correct.
agree. Absolutely.
They're
agree.
number one with the bullet if this is what he's talking about. But if you want to go Sum 41, Blink 182, and Offspring, Terry, that'll give you enough to get the offshoots.
Yeah.
But they're only
Green-
going to be
Green
one-hit
Day.
wonders in the alternative world. Green Day
Yeah.
sucks. They're only going to be alternative in the one day in the world, in the one-hit wonders. They're going to be.
I will
Yeah.
put a list together
Yeah.
tomorrow. We'll start crunching on this.
Send it to
This is gonna be
the
another
research group.
We're
Yep.
going to send it to the research group. Oh, thanks, Alex. Alex was the first person to. I'm going to turn this into something we haven't done yet. Alex Wheaton, one of our best friends and supporters. He was the first person to volunteer for the research group, the committee, and he's also kicking everybody's butt in the football pick'em right now.
Yes,
He's
he
up
is.
by 4 games. Get away from me. 4
Well,
games.
you're winning, Alex. Congratulations. So
But it's
Even
not-
I'm second to
computers
last.
come
so-
down to earth.
The only reason I'm second to last is because Bryant missed a week.
I'm destroying the computer right now, and that's my story. Because that was the promise I made: is we were going to destroy the computer.
Yes, that's right.
Well, the computer started out blazing hot because after
Yes, they
2
did.
weeks, it was number 200
400?
and something in the
Okay.
world or something like that. But now it's 500. It has crashed. It needs to be rebooted for the second half of the season. But speaking of rebooted, we need to get some sleep because we got a
Mhm.
week ahead of us. Thanks everybody that voted this week. Thank you, Bober, for the idea and coming on the show. It's long overdue.
I appreciate being on. It's fun. I enjoyed the first time you guys had me, and this time's been just as good.
Oh, we've had you before? We've had you twice? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
That's what
I'm
she said.
kidding. Thanks for coming.
That's what she said too.
That's why I said it that way. Anyway, Anyway, let me wrap this up before I say anything else I don't need to say. As always, love your people. Tell them you love them. Make it weird. See you next time, everybody.